Going to do an educational series on my favorite exchange, Bitunix. Why? I've even removed some links from down below. Why are we scattered amongst ancient exchanges like Fibit and Margex and whatever, okay, BitGet? Why not focus all of our strategies, all of our efforts in mastering one exchange and beating it to death? So when I start here, first thing I do is I have, and there's a link below, I make my deposit. I like to use USDT. It gets there almost instantly, and I don't have to shift it or transfer it. It goes right to futures where I could trade. But I have this screenshot tool or whatever that allows me to grab a screenshot. Always take a screenshot of your wallet when you start. The point is to end with more money each trade than what you start with. Kind of simple, huh? Don't close high leverage trades with low percentages. Let's go to futures. This is how I start myself. Now, I'm going to take a look at something. Great tool, greatest chart in the world. First of all, I'm going to teach you some numbers. You see we're at 720? The numbers differ on all the exchanges. Here, 764, whatever, right? Where are we? The Oracle law of numbers. You can screenshot this if you want. The 500s, okay, like let's say 92,500. The 500s are the middles, so are the 400s and the 600s. But the 300s could be breaking down lower. If you see the 900s, that means you're accelerating up towards the next whole number. The whole number is in thousands. It's pretty simple. We have specific numbers. I don't want to complicate this. If you're in my Discord, you learn about the exact coordinates below 300 that tell you when the next whole number is going to break and how far you're going to drop. Oh, it's so simple. We are closer to the whole number. Now let's take a look inside my Discord up here. Hold on. Okay, so what we are doing here is go down here. All right, so let's look at, this is the best tool in the world. This is the Coinbase 1 hour chart. So simple. You can graphically see what's going on. The whole number is 95,000. This is in the past 1 hour. It's structurally weak. Once it breaks, it's going to break again. It comes down here. Usually, if it doesn't go too deep to break the lower numbers I just taught you, what happens is they buy the dip. So, since I'm going to step out, I tell you never to do this, but I'm going to do it. Okay? I want to put it in order, a limit order. Normally I trade in real time, but this is if you want to put in a limit order. Now, I think 95,000 is a good number. What else would I base that on? Okay, it's the high of the last hour, barely. And now when I look here, in the entire day, the high was 95,477. So you're going to want to put in an amount of your trade that gives you a $2,000 gap. If you have a $3,000 gap, it's even better. This way you're really protected against pumps or dumps. How do you do that? First of all, you can see my money is here, okay? And if I want to withdraw it, once again, I would go up here to the wallet and then I transfer it. Look with this transfer thing from futures to spot, and that's where you withdraw. Easy peasy. Let's go back to futures. Okay, so I think it's probably they're going to buy the dip and go over. So I'm going to take a portion of my wallet, not my entire trade. I'm going to put, let's call it $1,700. Okay, my leverage, I'm going to short. Yes. So I'm going to choose a leverage of 82x. Now, I can choose a leverage this high because I'm on cross, and I'm going to use about 40% of my wallet. You'll see what I put in the trade. That will give me the gap I need. See, isolated gives you a specific liquidation point. You pick once. 50x, and there are ways around this too. I can get into it in deeper videos, but this is just on the surface. Okay, if you pick 50x, you're going to be an certain amount away from liquidation. It will tell you. If you pick 40x, well, then you're moving slower. You can't trade in and out as fast as we can. If you pick 75x, it's really tight. You got to hope you don't get liquidated. Cross allows you to basically have like an AI that controls your trade and tries everything it can not to liquidate you, but it will use everything that's in your wallet. That's why I say bring to the game what you're willing to lose. Okay, I'm willing to trade today $9,800, right? Whatever that is. Now I have, hold on, is it 93? Oh, it'll be 98 soon. So look, they're going to go over the whole number. So I want to put in, because I'm going to step out for a little while. Okay, I'm not going to stare at every tick, but I'm going to be here and I'm going to be watching on that Coinbase tool. That 1 hour chart in your hand is epic. For sure, once again, they're near the higher coordinates. Let's do a time check. It's 9:56 a.m. There's plenty of time to pump. Pumps in the daytime, dumps at nighttime. So I'm going to be really conservative with this. I'm going to put 1,700 in the trade. I'm going to set it for a limit order at 9,500. Oh, did I say 9,500? 95,000. Okay, we're going to put only $1,000 at 82x. Boom. And you know what we're also going to do? We're going to do something that normally I don't do this, but these are various options. Once that goes in, I'll be able to see, oh, I have a $4,000 gap between me and liquidation. Then I could add a little more and watch what happens to the gap. If you can keep a $3,000 gap, $2,000 gap between you and the liquidation price, that's great. And it all matters based on what percentage of your wallet is in the trade. Look, you see that line? If they cross that line, this fires off. Now, what does that correspond to? Using the handy-dandy Coinbase 1 hour chart, okay, even the 1 day, we see the high was 95,477. If we look at the 1 hour, okay, this one, we see that the 1 hour high was 95.90. Does that mean it won't go to 96? No, but we still want to be protected. Very simple strategy. I'm going to make these videos short and to the point. So once it goes off, then I can add to the trade. I hope you found this helpful and useful. Okay, rather than make these 40-minute videos, I think they're going to be 7 or 8 minutes. We can do an entire series. Okay, so on this one is setting up for the whole number, knowing when they're going to buy, because this is proven strategy. I call it the whole number game. Okay, and it works very simple. So watch, they will buy the dip because we were closer to the upper numbers. But that's near the top of the day, so I have a small position in. Maybe it'll even get bought in this video. I like the instant withdrawals here. You don't need a VPN or anything. Watch, once it gets bought, it's going to show here as a position. Come on, buy it up. Sometimes I use other charts like this, okay? You can use whatever chart you want, but make sure you have Heiken-Ashi candles. I don't like a lot of indicators. I like to keep it simple. So this is a 1 hour that took a nosedive, but it has a tail, so that means it's weak. They'll go green again. Okay, here we have green on the 6 hour. There's still FOMO in the air. We have an order that's about to get bought, but the prices, let me see. I'm on perpetual. Let's go to USDT. Oh, not ETH. Ugh. Oh, here's what. Okay, so 94,905. Now it lines up better, closer with this. So if it doesn't get bought right now, I don't sit here and watch. This is a really critical thing. It makes an audible tone. If you sit here and stare, you're going to get time paralysis, okay? And you might do something stupid. I know for a fact this will go back over 95, even for a brief bit, because of the time of day and how close we are. It's reading humanity. So what I say is I walk away. I have the chart in my hand. It'll fire off. Now, maybe I'll only have a small trade in or whatever, but let's say you're home, you're watching TV or whatever. Turn up the volume. You'll hear the sound when it gets bought, a chime. And now you don't have to stare at the chart every minute. And if you have that Coinbase chart in your hand at 1 hour, that 1 hour chart is powerful just to give you a glance of where you are. Once your trade gets bought, you can assess the situation. Do you want to add to it? Was the velocity weak? Look at it dumping. Look at that. We might go to the lower numbers. I might get no trade in at all. So you know what I would do here? I'd create a box. The top of the box is the whole number. I could create the bottom of the box. I could take $500, right? And I do it at market. Watch this. This way, by creating a box trade. You have a small amount in at the bottom. Look, under the whole number. You don't even want to be here, right? But you're not missing the move. Now, this would take to $115,000 to get liquidated because it's only $500 compared to the wallet, okay? Now, I don't care about this. I want to be in over that whole number. This is the lower lid of the box. It will lose very little even if we pump up 500. But I want to be covered both ways. So now, let's do this. Cancel this. So now at the whole number, we're going to drop $2,000. No, we'll drop $1,500. 95. 1, 2, 3, because it'll probably go back there. And we'll drop, we could always add to it. So let's do $1,300 at 82x. Open short position. Boom. Okay. So now you got an order in. Okay. Hold on. Do we have two? Refresh. Sometimes refresh really helps. We should have one order in. No, two. So let's take a look. Because you always want to be in over the whole number. Not down here, but we all don't want to miss out. So let's cancel both. And do it again. And then I'll wrap up this version or this lesson. 95, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do that amount. Short. Boom. So now we're set. I call it the box trade. The small amount, the bottom of the box, which, look, is losing a little bit of money now. Doesn't matter, right? It can't be liquidated. Not today, anyway. And then when they go to the top of the box, that'll be a real trade. Okay? Your bigger trade. So I hope you found this helpful. We'll be doing more on this exchange. It is so simple, so user-friendly. The links are below. I've decided to focus and maximize teaching on this exchange because it's the biggest moneymaker. That's it. I've gone through all of them. Margex, Fibit, all of them. This is the one that pays if you do it right. Even beyond BitGet and BingX, and well, it's one of the best. You just got to get comfortable. Stay tuned. It's going to be an entire series. I can't wait till they buy up over the whole number. So, again, I showed you how to use the Coinbase 1 hour chart, how to not have time paralysis and make poor decisions because you're sitting there, and also a bit of the box trade. Have a good day. Get ready for the next segment